Hi you guys, Latoya here. Welcome to my crafty space. And I am working on another Christmas card. I didn't get to do anything last night, but that's okay. Just kind of detailing from the week, but I do work this weekend, so I'm on my 12-day stretch of working every day. Yeah. Anyhow, let me get a card done before I head off to work. That is the goal. And I have about 2 hours, so hopefully I can knock this out. I kind of want to do like a Christmas tree-ish background and then have something else as a focal point. That's where my brain is. So let's see if I can, yeah, get a card done that goes in line with that. So I took out my In the Pine set, which in my last video, you saw that I took this Christmas tree here and just masked it to make it larger. And then I used People from the Beautiful Moment set. And now I just took out this tree line here. And I'm just going to basically make a piece of background paper on this cardstock. And this cardstock is not Stampin' Up. I have all the Stampin' Up colors, I think, all but like the end colors. And I think I have Rococo Rose and Seaside Spray, but those are being discontinued. But for the longest, I was looking for like a particular shade of green. And, you know, I like to either get Stampin' Up, or if I'm purchasing things from, you know, Joann's or Hobby Lobby, I like to be able to use my coupon. So I'm like, either I buy paper from Stampin' Up, and I used to buy Gina K cardstock also, but now I'm just like, oh, okay, let me see if I can find what I need at Hobby Lobby. So I went to Hobby Lobby and I came across this cardstock color here, which is different from the Stampin' Up greens, and I think it's closer to the color I'm looking for. So I'm just going to use this. Now this is my first time stamping up this stamp, so I want to do a test because the ink needs to take to the stamp before it actually, you know, comes out all nice. And I'm just going to wipe it off just to help condition my stamp a little bit, and now it should be good to go. So I just want to make like a tree border, tree line border, I guess. Let's see, make sure this is well inked. Now this is so dark, I'm trying to make sure I'm not overlapping. It's kind of hard to see a little bit with a cardstock. And I'm stamping off the paper some just to not have the same images every single time. Move this over so I can stamp here. Okay. And that's it. Super excited. So I ended up looking at my little ink minis, which I forgot about for a moment. So I do have the Tim Holtz Distress inks. I bought all of the minis probably like a year or two ago. So I know there are more colors out now, but you know, I'm just not focusing on that jazz. But I ended up finding a green that goes with the color of the cardstock that I stamped on for my tree line. So I'm pretty excited because I was like, oh, what I'm going to use. And you guys know I'm like on a stripe kick right now. So I'm just going to go with it because that's what makes me happy. So anyways, this color is perfect. I'm just going to stamp it one more time. And that's what I'm going to use for this card. So super delighted. And this color is Pine Needles. So this was a little test here. You can see this is just printer paper. I'm trying to do like a little faded background and then stamp on top of that because I think that's where I want this card to go. I don't know, I've kind of just been sitting and hemming and hawing, and I think I might redo this card because there's a lot of possibilities with it. But one thing I wanted to do was just something a little simple. So I think this might be what I'm going for, and I need to just redo it. So I just took one of the trees and I stamped it lightly in the background, and then I stamped this on top of it, and then I'll do like a matte layer and probably add some ribbon, and that'll be it. I like the detail in the back here, so I kind of want to have one card where you can see most of that because I really like it. And the set I used was this Farmhouse Christmas, which is an old set. I think it's from last year or the year before, but I really liked this. Wishing you a season full of peace, wonder, and love. Merry Christmas. And it's just perfect. Okay, so I stamped this in black, and I did second generation stamping, which means I stamped off full strength, and then I used what was left over on the back. And I decided to heat emboss this here image that I'm about to stamp now. I'm stamping it in Pine Needles, which is the color I've used on the background. And I just really want this to pop. So I already prepped my surface with my embossing buddy. And now I'm just placing this down. And I'm just gonna make sure this is really nice. This is why I like stamping platforms, because sometimes, especially when you have a new stamp, it does not take the first time, and you just got to stamp over and over and over and over and over to get a nice solid image. And I really want this pronounced against that faded tree. Hopefully this one will be it. So let's see here. Okay, that looks good. So now I'm going to just wipe this off really quickly because I don't want my ink pad to have a lot of different color inks on it. And take this, just go ahead and stamp twice, which will be plenty. And I have my clear embossing powder, my heat guns on my lap. Once you get the hang of heat embossing, oh, it is a very quick process. Oh my goodness, look how pretty this is. Okay, that was a great idea. Look at that, you guys. That is beautiful. Okay, I'm very happy I did that. So now I'm just going through my dies to figure out what circles I want to use, either the stitched or my plain circle dies to cut this out.
Dead alley back to life, 35.
So here it is. All right, so I am about to finish my card. I ended up having to go to work, and you know, I just stopped. That's fine. So it's the next morning, and I was hemming and hawing about what to do, what ribbon to use. I took out a ton. It was like, should I use gold? Should I use black? And I have this like gingham style ribbon, which I actually purchased off of Etsy. So you guys know, like, it's hard to once you use all your ribbon, it's like, oh, where am I going to get this style from again? So hopefully that shop doesn't go out of business, you know, with what's going on, the pandemic. A lot of places are, which is sad. But anyhow, this is really pretty, and my boyfriend was like, yeah, you should use that one. So I'm decided to use this. Now, my original layout idea was to have the ribbon down here, and then I had this circle backing that I was using against my embellished die cut, and I was going to place this here, but for some reason, I don't know, I don't really like this, and I thought I would. So what I did was I removed that die cut backing, and I made a cream colored one, just a larger circle. And I'm like, oh, I actually like those two together. And then when I decided is I don't like this here on the side, I actually would like this better here in the middle. So I just wanted to, you know, let you guys know, just play around with your pieces and where you put them. Just try different layout ideas, because as you can see, this looks a lot better. And now all I need to do is a little bit with some sequins, and I think this card will be done, especially for the first take. If you're going to remake a card, it's a lot easier to get one idea done with, and then, you know, redo all your pieces and just play around with shapes and maybe some distress inks and maybe some tearing and all that jazz, just to create another card. So I'm super excited about this. Let me go ahead and finish this card. I'm trying to use as little ribbon as possible.